my head, trying to get the maths to add up, but I'm left with A plus B, hoping to equal you, me and unity, but unfortunately it only adds up to 1/2. You see, we were minus communication and honesty, and as I try and make the maths make sense, I realise that perhaps we were always minus 1/2. Because when you forgot to carry over how you were feeling, and when you forgot to carry over the doubts and questions to me, A plus B equals Y. Couldn't you just give us a chance? Why couldn't you wait to look me in the eyes instead of sending me an email? Why did you choose to leave me in hope and fear and silence? Only to fail to see that you had already made up your mind. Why did you think and why did you say that you cared enough to remain in a relationship with me, that you cared enough to travel with me, but you couldn't see a future with me as your wife or as a mother? And as I begin to discover your true feelings, it only digs deeper into my insecurities that maybe you were never my man and just my lover. I'd rather pretend as I lend you my comforting words so that you don't feel bad. But no amount of forgiveness or reconciliation seems to take away just how sad I really feel under the fading smile I used to greet you. And you smile too. People keep saying, don't worry, he'll regret it. Yet all I can think is that regret is the last thing I want you to feel. Because if you turn around in a week, a month, a year from now and think, I miss her, I wish I had never broken it off. It only means that you messed us up for no reason, that you crushed our dreams and you stood on our plans for nothing more than doubt. So I mean it when I say, I want you to be sure. I want you to be sure. I want you to be sure. But don't worry, because there was always 3 of us in our relationship. And as much as algebra didn't make sense to me, I know that 3 minus 1 still equals 2. And don't worry, there wasn't a second man. No, never, you see. I loved you. But there was 3 of us in our relationship. Me, you, and my poetry. So I'll turn to the most reliable of you to recline its shoulders, hoping that you see that this piece isn't about attacking you. And this piece isn't about making you look like a fool. This piece is about allowing me to do me. And maybe finally see the holes in our relationship that I hopped over, and the rips in our seams that I ignored, and the look in your eyes, and the tone of your voice that said, sorry. All I was left with was the echoing words of sorry. So I'll say today, so am I, but I'll love you no less, regardless of you never really telling me what went wrong. And I guess that if I could stop, pause and rewind us, I would edit myself into perfection so that you wouldn't rush to end what we had. I said it before in other poetry, and I'll say it again, that there was nothing wrong, that you gave me nothing to go off. It's cool. Because I remember that in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was of God, and God gave me a heart to pump His words from my veins, providing me with everything from love's lost to lessons learned. Because someone who hates doesn't love, and not to love is not to love God, because love is God and God is love. So as much as they say that God didn't will us to be together, I'll forever ignore this detail, because my God wouldn't hurt me like this, and my God wouldn't run the risk of me losing faith in Him and relationships. That actually it wasn't God that made you sit 3 months without saying a word with me. It wasn't God that made me wait for you. It wasn't God that filled me with tears and anger and answered questions to this day I don't know the answers to. It wasn't God. Despite your prophetic prophecies and your biblical name, it wasn't God that drove me insane about why I seem to be so unlovable. You make me feel so unlovable. So perhaps it's best that I close this chapter of my learning and move on to the next, solely with me.